guys, welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer and week 6 of the Premier League predictions. It seems like the season started like 2 weeks ago and we're already at game week 6. After a midweek fixture list, there were some really surprising results, some good and some bad for others. We're going to dive into it. Do me a favor first, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Guys, without any more waiting, let's jump in. And it's a big game to kick off the weekend. One of the biggest, you would have to say, Everton versus Liverpool. For Everton, they're actually hoping for a big transfer deadline today, being linked with a number of players. They've put in some bids for João Pedro, I believe, at Watford. That's been rejected. They're looking for a midfielder, maybe another striker as well. 3 draws and 2 losses for Everton. Not going too badly, heavily reliant on Anthony Gordon, of course, did the business again midweek. Playing a Liverpool team that are really firing on all cylinders. It took a 97th minute winner from Fabio Carvalho to get all 3 points against Newcastle. Newcastle, who took the lead through a debut of Isak, and quite unlucky to actually lose that game, Newcastle. But it's going to be tough, especially at Goodison Park. I think this might be a draw. I just don't fancy Liverpool at the moment. They could turn it on like they did against Bournemouth, or they can put in a result like they have a performance against Fulham or even yesterday. I think I'm going to go for a draw. I think Everton are going to make it difficult. I'm going to say 1-1 between Liverpool and Everton. Coming on next is Spurs versus Fulham. Last time out yesterday for Spurs, a 1-1 draw against West Ham. 4 points off Arsenal now, who sit top of the league. For Fulham, massive win for them against Brighton. They inflicted Brighton's first defeat of the season. They sit on, I think they're 7th in the league of Fulham, going along very nicely. Even with Spurs really not hitting 3rd or 4th gear yet this season, Fulham are doing okay, or very well. Actually, Mitrovic on the score sheet again. I'm going to give it Spurs. I think they keep a clean sheet, and I'm going to say 2-1 to the home side. 2-0. 2-0 to the home side, 2-0 to Spurs. Next up is Forest versus Bournemouth. Let's start with Bournemouth. Much needed clean sheet against Wolves. Unsurprising, Wolves don't score goals, and we'll come on to them very shortly. I think Bournemouth relegated. They are. If there's any team you're going to choose that is 100% down this season, it's Bournemouth. They played the majority of last night with 11 men behind the ball against Wolves who don't score goals, and they were at home. I think Bournemouth are done. For Forest, 6-0 defeat to City. That's going to happen. City will beat much better teams this season than Forest by 4, 5, 6 goals. So if you're a Forest fan, you wouldn't worry too much. The only thing is it's the goal difference. You want to, when you're playing City and Liverpool and teams like that, you don't want to be losing 5-6-0 too many times. Already a -9 goal difference for Forest. It could come down to that at the end of the season. So just got to be careful when you're playing the bigger teams. For this one, I'm going to back Forest. I'm going to back Forest to win 2-0. I think they keep a clean sheet, and I think they bag a couple of goals. 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Next up, who do we have? Chelsea versus West Ham. Chelsea, a 2-1 defeat against Southampton. For West Ham, on the other hand, again, as I mentioned earlier with Spurs, 1-1 draw against them. Really good result. For Chelsea, what's happening? 7 points after 5 games. I don't think they get top 4 this season. And from what I've seen so far, unless they have an unbelievable deadline day today, I just don't see it happening for them. For West Ham, they're starting to put a few performances together now. Again, a bit like Spurs, haven't quite hit 3rd, 4th gear that we've seen over the last couple of years. However, 4 points, they're slowly climbing the table. For this one, I'm going to back West Ham. I think they might go to Stamford Bridge and do something. I was thinking 1-1, but I'm actually going to go 2-1. I've got no faith in Chelsea at the moment. I'm going to say 2-1 to the Hammers. Next up is Brentford versus Leeds. For Brentford, it's an 88th minute equaliser against Palace at Selhurst Park. Zaha put them ahead early on in the game, and Brentford stuck at it. Very good defensively in that second half and managed to get a draw. For Leeds, going very, very nicely. 2 draws, 2 wins, 1 loss. They're going to be absolutely fine this season. Can they keep up this form to actually push for the European places? Newcastle are going to be in and around there. Brighton have a good chance. You've got to think that other teams like West Ham are going to come back in the mix as well. Will Wolves get onto some good form? It's going to be difficult for Leeds, but listen, if they can keep this confidence high, you never know what can happen. I'm going to give this one a draw. I think there'll be goals, and I'm going to say 2-2 Brentford and Leeds. Next up is my club, Wolves, playing Southampton at home. For Wolves, I'm just tired of them. I mean, we've brought some unbelievable players this summer. We've got a new striker coming in who he has to play at the weekend. Cesar, at this point, I don't really care what his name is. He just has to hit the ground running. We had chances against Bournemouth, hit the bar, one cleared off the line from Podence. Raul misses a one-on-one, just not the same player. And I doubt he'll ever be the player that he was. We've scored 2 goals in 5 games. One of them was a wonder strike from Neves against Newcastle. I just don't see how we score goals. For Southampton, that big 2-1 victory against Chelsea, Sterling put them ahead, one in front, went 1-0 up. Southampton showed character. They came back, Armstrong on the score sheet. They really do look like a team that's willing to work for each other. I think I'm going to go Southampton because Wolves aren't going to score. Granted, we aren't conceding many. We've only conceded 4 in our first 5. One of them was a wonder goal from St. Maximin, but I think I'm going to go Southampton. I'm going to say 1-0 to Southampton. Sadly, I hope I'm proven wrong. Next up is Newcastle versus Palace. As I mentioned a few moments ago, Newcastle very unlucky last night at Anfield. Was Isak offside? I don't think he was, but he did get the goal on his debut. They were missing key players as well. Last night were Newcastle. Guimaraes didn't play along with a few others. Playing a Palace team Zaha is just on fire. I think that's now 6 goals of the last 7 that Palace have scored at home have come from Wilfried Zaha. They are playing away though, and it's going to be very tough for most teams this season to go to St. James's Park and get all 3 points. Just ask Manchester City. They were 3-1 down at one point and managed to get a 3-3 draw. I'm going to go Newcastle. I think they'll edge it. I think it'll be a good game. I'm going to say 2-1 to the Magpies. Villa versus City, and at the time of recording this, which is I should say, midday on Thursday, they are the only team in the league to lose 4 games. Leicester play tonight. They've only lost 3 with 1 draw. They play against United. But as of right now, they're the only team in the league to lose 4 games. It's not good reading. How long will Gerrard last? I think if Gerrard lasts until Christmas, unless they go on a magnificent run, they could be in trouble this season. They're being linked with Dendoncker from Wolves, my club. Not a bad signing, but it remains to be seen whether or not it will be enough to keep them away from a relegation dogfight. For City, what do you want me to say? Another Haaland hat-trick, 6-0. I think they win the league easily. Arsenal are doing very well at the moment, but will they have the character, the experience to go through a whole season on the form they are? Well, they're not going to win every game, let's put it that way. I think City get another big scoreline, and I'm going to say 4-0 to Manchester City. Could be 7, it could be 2 or 3, but I'm just going to go 4-0. Next up is Brighton versus Leicester. For Brighton, as I mentioned again earlier, their first loss of the season, but they're still in 4th place. Unbelievable. If you said to Brighton, you'll be 4th after 5 games, thanks for coming. We'll take that on your way. For Leicester, they're playing tonight, as I said. So I did predict a Manchester United win in my previous predictions that came out on Monday. I think I said 2-1, maybe 2-0, but I did give United the win. I do think Leicester go into the weekend, bottom of the table, unless they do get a result tonight. But in regards to Leicester versus Brighton, it's hard because if Leicester do put in a performance tonight and get a draw, or maybe even all 3 points, because they've got the players to be able to do that. If I knew that they were going to win tonight, I might give them a chance at the weekend against Brighton. Brighton are very good at home, but I've just got to say it's another Brighton win because I don't think they're going to win tonight against United. I may look silly. They may pull off an amazing result, but I'm going to go for Brighton and I'm going to say 2-0. We end on arguably the biggest game of the weekend, Manchester United versus Arsenal, either that or Everton, Liverpool. For me, this is the game. If United win this, they can go up to 5th in the league, depending on how Liverpool get on against Everton and, of course, other teams as well. If they do win, if Man United win tonight, I should say, they do go up to 5th. If they can beat Arsenal at the weekend, they would go into the top 4 unless all 4 teams above them win, which I don't really see happening. For Arsenal, 5 wins from 5. And again, the crowd doing the business for the team when Villa get their equaliser. They don't stop. And it's Martinelli again on the score sheet. What a season he's having. This is going to be tough because, like Leicester, who play tonight, United are playing tonight as well. So if they win that game comfortably 2-3-0, I might give them a draw. I think I am going to go a draw just because it's at home. It's Arsenal's first big test of the season. So far this season, they've played the Bournemouths, they've played the Fulhams, they've played the Villas. This is their first big test. If they come away with a win at the weekend against Man United at Old Trafford, I think that puts them in a very, very strong position for top 4. I want to say a draw. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say 1-1. I think both teams might be a little bit cagey in this, but I will caveat that. If there's going to be a winner, I think Arsenal get the result. But I'm gonna back out slightly and be a fence sitter. I'm gonna say 1-1. Guys, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Hit that like button and subscribe, and we will have another prediction video tomorrow on Friday for no, sorry, I won't. It's today that I'm doing the prediction. There's so many games happening, 3 sets of fixtures in 7 days. I won't be doing a video tomorrow, but what I will say is this: Scott is going live this evening. So if you are watching this today as it's released, Thursday, the 1st of September, Scott's going live tonight for a deadline day transfer roundup. Oh, I've lost the will to live. I do apologize. Guys, the video is already out for the live tonight. So go and do us a favor. Hit the reminder button so you don't miss him going live. I think he's going to go live anywhere from about 8:30 until the deadline at 11 o'clock. So do us a favor. Go and show him some support. Chat in the comments, asking for his opinions on your club's transfers. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.